Okay, here's the room over the garage. Lengthwise, it's about 60 feet. Widthwise, it's about 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 air ducts going across the side wall. It's probably about a 5-foot wall here. And a slope up to a flat ceiling, slopes down. Here you've got these dormers. I guess it's 3 dormers. No access here. No access there or there. No access here or here. So we had this access hole cut to access the ductwork, because what had happened was when we moved in, these first 2 were operational, and then the previous owner capped it off from there to drop lines downstairs into the workout room. Let me grab a flashlight and try to go in here. Gotta pause this. Okay, so now we're looking behind the wall toward the entrance of the room, and against all of these, there's no insulation. So we look down, same thing, there's no insulation on the walls. Now, when we look in here, this cavity is framed off. Beneath here is, the space is not conditioned. That's the garage beneath. I'm gonna pause this for a second so I can try to climb in here. Okay, this is what I was talking about, how these rafter cavities go all the way up to a framing block up there. So I'm not sure how any of this is being vented to the ridge vent outside. Okay, this is the attic side. So up the stairs to the left, there's the room. Upstairs to the right, this is the attic access. So here, there's insulation, bad insulation. This is what I put in this past weekend. Before this, there was nothing here. That crawl space up there is how you would access the flat roof that goes across, I guess you call it the living room flat ceiling. I don't have a ladder over here to show that, but that's what that is. So over here, there's blown in insulation on the floor, because beneath here is the entranceway to this building, which is a hallway and a bathroom. Here's the hot water heater, so there's conditioned space beneath here, so this is insulated. There's spots where it probably could be insulated a lot better. Like you can see, it's not even up to the top of the floor joists here. And then of course over there, it's kind of weak as well. But this bad insulation is what I installed this past weekend, all the way there. So but this is the only insulation that's in here, this whole entire upstairs. Okay, back in the living space. These ceiling here, which is above the dormer, there's nothing, no access to that either. And that goes the same thing for the other 2. So what I'm thinking is this flat ceiling is, if in fact it is framed and capped off like we saw when we were inside this wall looking up the rafter bays, that's where I'm saying I don't understand how there's any ventilation coming from the soffits up through and out through the ridge vent if that is blocked. If that whole cavity there is pretty much framed from here, nothing can come this direction. Similarly on this side, well, I'm not certain 100% positive that if that same framing is there. I'm assuming it is, but the only way to verify that would be to have an access cut here so I could look back up in here. So there's, yeah, I'm trying to think what else. So I'm gonna try to do maybe tomorrow is go from the other access attic and try to get up here on this flat ceiling just to kind of see what's going on either side. At a minimum, if you can't blow insulation down these sides from the top, this top could be insulated. And then I'm thinking possibly, I just don't know how you insulate these sides. The wall, big wall going across, I would think you'd put bad insulation on that as well. But I think the main thing is going to be these slopes in the ceilings. That's where the massive heat's going to be. Okay, here's the outside. And when we were in the hot attic space, that was to the left of this light. So you can notice here there's soffit vents that go all the way down on this side. I'm doing a video for Bill. There's the ridge vent on the top. So soffit vents all the way around this side. Let's go to the other side. Similar here. So those are those soffit vents. When we were in this backside where that access was cut for me, my expectation would be is the air would come from the outside into the soffit and up to the top of the roof decking and out the roof ridge vent. But again, we saw those rafter bays were pretty much cavities were kind of pretty much capped off with framing. So I'm not sure how that air gets up and to that ridge vent.